Hello. Big E here on a Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for my Week 15 cash game plays, and by golly, this might be the craziest slate I've ever seen. Everyone is getting ready for the holidays. By the way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, a week early. Secondly, please subscribe to the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. We can see all my catching content. Yesterday was a great sit down with my golfing buddy Tom Jacobs. And third, check out the Big D podcast on Spotify and Apple. As I said a second earlier, this Week 15 slate has got to be one of the craziest, wildest, and most unpredictable slates I've ever seen. First off, with the postponement with the Vegas Raiders and Cleveland Browns to Monday night, then the two Sunday games being the Washington football team, Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks, and LA Rams being postponed. There will be football Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, the Monday after that. And then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with the college football playoff semifinal games in Arlington, Miami, and of course the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. There will be a craze of football. I know everybody's saying, well, the games are postponed. The fact we're going to have football basically almost every night for the next 2 weeks will be crazy. Secondly, these games are going to be played. You can't have a season where one team is playing 16 games, another team is playing 17 games. These games are going to get played. Whether they happen Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be another one. So enough of that negativity. At quarterback, to be honest, it's one guy and one guy only this week. It's Tua Tagovailoa. First off, I don't think I've ever discussed Tua in a cash game before, but if you look at the way Miami's called games this year, they've thrown the ball a lot. Tua has thrown the ball at least 31 times in every game but one since he started in week 6. If you discount week 9 where he didn't play, Tua's pass attempts have been 47, 40, 39, 13, 33, 31, and 41, meaning Tua's throwing the ball. Miami's a decent-sized favorite over the Jets this weekend. And yes, you may think Miami runs the ball, but Miami doesn't have a great running game, even though Myles Gaskin and Achman are off the COVID list. But I think Miami could easily throw the ball early. The Jets are so putrid defensively, it may not matter. And thinking back to week 11, Tua completed 27 of 33 for 273 and a couple of scores. Good for 18.52 DK points at just 5,500. So with basically the same value, and even probably a better matchup with Miami coming off a bye against a New York Jet team that I'm not sure could stop anyone right now. Tua is a great catch value, especially now with the Seahawks Rams game being postponed, and the Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Tua's the best cash play. I know he's not much of a runner, but with the fact he's throwing so much, Tua's a great catch play. At running back, let me tell you, this may be the craziest running back slate I've ever seen. I've thought all week about which running backs I'm going to play. And be honest with you, I went back and forth figuring out, do I like this guy? Do I like that guy? But today I finally settled on one. To me, James Robinson feels like the lock of the week at running back. He's what 5,400, I think he is. Yes, James Robinson. If you drafted him early in your fantasy draft, I apologize because James Robinson's been a massive bust this year. But Urban Meyer's gone, which means we're going to see the real Trevor Lawrence this week, and we're going to see the real James Robinson. Houston cannot stop the run. They cannot. They have not tried to stop the run this year, and they're not going to stop the run. And secondly, you look at Jacksonville's offense right now. There's no Carlos Hyde with a concussion. So James Robinson could get most, if not all, of the key running back touches. And you think the Jaguars are going to be motivated to show Urban Meyer he was the reason why the Jaguars struggled, particularly the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think Jacksonville could put up a ton of points. I think it could be a big Trevor Lawrence day, but I think it could be an even bigger James Robinson day. And at 5,400, I think James Robinson is a must-play in your lineup, particularly without a star running back. And speaking of star running backs, look at who's not playing on the Sunday main slate. Well, Austin Eckler played last night. Jonathan Taylor plays tomorrow night. Alvin Kamara and Leonard Fournette, if he's able to go with that bum ankle, will play on Sunday night. Dalvin Cook and now Nick Chubb will play on Monday. I'm just saying, those are like the most popular play, some if not all the top guys you want to play every single week. And to me, this week, the second guy was very, very difficult. I went back and forth, thought about using Myles Gaskin. But to me, Najee Harris feels like a safe bet because Najee Harris is one of the only true bell cow running backs now, meaning he's not just a great runner, but a great receiver. And yes, I know what Tennessee's defense can do. But Pittsburgh's coming off a 10-day break. Tennessee's offense has not been that great, particularly since week 9 when Derrick Henry sustained his foot injury. And I think the Steelers offense, with a little bit extra preparation time, will be ready. Big Ben, it's funny. Big Ben, everyone thinks Big Ben's old, and yet he's got one of the best touchdown interception ratios in football the last few weeks. I think it's a big Ben week, but I think it could be a big Najee Harris week. I expect him to be involved as a runner and a receiver this week. And yeah, you may think he's 7,800, but look at Najee Harris rushes 20, 21, 26, 22, 26, 24, 23. And yeah, will he get 19 targets like he did week 3 against the Bengals? No. But at worst, he's probably getting 3, 4, 5 targets with probably a good 6 to 7 if possible. So I think Najee Harris makes a lot of sense, particularly without a Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook on the main slate. At wide receiver, again, the Seahawks-Rams postponement took away my guy Cooper Kupp this week. I bet you a few fantasy players were excited to watch Cooper Kupp on Sunday, so you have to wait until Tuesday. But the Rams not being on this slate definitely changes matters. For one, I think Devonta Parker is a near must-play. He's 4,300. He's 4,300, a potential number 1 receiver against the same crappy Jet defense. And I know people say, well, you don't stack and catch. This might be a week where you actually could. Because Devonta Parker's price tag doesn't make sense. And yeah, he has not been healthy for most of the year. But in the 5 games he's played, this is Devonta Parker's target share. 7, 9, 7, 9, 11, 5. And now we face a crappy New Jet defense and no Jalen Waddle. Means Devonta Parker is in a great matchup without Jalen Waddle, so it's a possibility of double-digit targets. You've got the touchdown upside with Parker, so he could get double-digit targets and a touchdown potential at just 4,300. Yeah, I really think Devontae Parker is a great cash play this week. Again, another wide receiver value, but I think Gabriel Davis is in a similar spot. Maybe not quite Devontae Parker's spot, but everyone saw what he did last week with 8 targets. He scored a touchdown last couple of weeks, and now he faces a Panther defense. Josh Allen's foot feels like he's fine, ready to rumble. I think Gabriel Davis feels like a great play, 3,700, and a Buffalo offense throwing the ball. Yeah, sign me up. And now we get to two guys more comfortable in cash games. First off, how good has Deontay Johnson been? He is a target monster. Deontay Johnson has got 2 games this year with single digit targets. Every other week it's like 10 and 10, 12, 13, 13, 14, 11, 10. He is so consistent. And yeah, this is finally the week where DK finally up Deontay Johnson's price tag. I still think he's a good value, particularly now without Cooper Kupp. Deontay Johnson makes a ton of sense. And there might not be Cooper Kupp on this slate, but Devontae Adams is really good too. You've seen him play this year. He catches 1 or 2 passes. We all saw what he did Sunday night. And quiet first half against the Bears. Finished with 10, 121, and 2 touchdowns. The thing I'm noticing with Devontae Adams is he's not just getting a yard bonus, but lately he's finding the end zone. And yeah, 8,900, but again, that price doesn't feel the least bit surprised. In fact, I think Devontae Adams deserves to be the most expensive wide receiver on this slate, particularly now without Cooper Kupp. And tight end, again, this is one because there's so much value. You can go a multitude of ways. You could use George Kittle. You could use a Mike Gesicki. You could use a Mark Andrews or the Lamar Jacksons ready to rumble. You could use probably CJ Usama with the Bengals. But to me, I think Reverend Jordan makes a lot of sense. He's 2,800. He's getting for a guy near the mid price. He's getting some decent target share. He got 7 targets last week against the Seahawks and a touchdown. And really, yeah, the touchdown's nice, but the 7 targets might be a bigger plus. If we get the 7 targets, and even if Reverend Jordan doesn't find the end zone, if he goes 5 for 40, that's all we want. If he finds the end zone, that's a bonus. I like Austin Hooper last week, but I think Brevin Jordan makes a lot of sense. And be honest, defensively, I really want to go. I usually spend down at defense, but this week, I think Miami's defense makes the most sense. First off, they're facing the Jets, and we know Zach Wilson tournament machine. Secondly, Miami's defense has been playing really well lately. Not really giving up a lot of points, getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and maybe more importantly, taking the ball away from said quarterback. Let me see. In 4 out of Miami's last 5 games, the Dolphins defense has picked up at least 9 points, with 17 against Houston, 18 against the Ravens, and 23 against the Panthers. So I think Miami makes a lot of sense. Now, And all my lineup is Tua, Najee Harris, James Robinson, Devonta Parker, Gabriel Davis, Deontay Johnson, Brevin Jordan, Devontae Adams in the flex, Dolphins D. And I know what you're thinking. Why is Devontae Adams in the slot? Well, in the flex, excuse me. Because A, I like that. I like having a guy in the 4 p.m.s late afternoon slate in my flex. 2, in case something else happens where games are postponed or whatever, I can always switch or maybe switch. Or in case other value pops up, I've got more wiggle room that way. Now, unfortunately, some games were canceled. I mean, before the Seahawks-Rams game was postponed, my lineup would have been quite a bit different. I mean, Tua still would have been my quarterback, but I was leaning really on potentially playing like a Myles Gaskin at running back. I really wanted to play Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams together. I think I could have, especially with like a Tyler Higbee or even a Mike Gesicki at running back, at tight end. Even a Michael Carter was the guy I thought about using, but now it looks like he's not playing with an injury. So this is quite possibly the craziest slate we've seen in a long time. Without an $8,000 running back, Cooper Kupp, or some of the best, even the best quarterback, like Herbert and Mahomes played last night. Brady is on Sunday night. Stafford and Russ on, I guess you say Tuesday Night Football, right? I mean, this is going to be one where you need to pay attention and make sure you guys are ready to rumble. Make sure A, the game is not postponed, and B, make sure that you guys are not in the COVID protocol, because otherwise it's going to create a massive headache. Guys, don't panic. Don't panic. Because everyone's dealing with a lot of issue right now, whether guys are testing positive, they're in the protocol, or maybe the game's played on another day. So this is my best advice would be just relax. We've got time. If you pay attention, we will get through this week and hopefully make a bang for a buck. I feel like week 15 is going to be good for us. I feel like this is a week where just use the best guys. I mean, if you want to use Najee Harris, go ahead. If you want to use Tua may not have been a great play 4 or 5 weeks ago, but without the quarterbacks and expensive running backs, he feels like a good play to me. So I can't wait to see what this week provides. I mean, what is this slate going to be now? What, 9 games? This is looking like except 9 games, 11 games. Thank you. I think 11 or 12 games, because there's one game was last night, one game's tomorrow, one game Sunday, 2 Monday. Yeah, it's a 9-game slate. A 9-game slate. So there's not the same wiggle room compared to the normal week. So this is gonna be fun, but I think we'll get through it, and I'm happy to share with you my advice. It's a good stress reliever for me, and I hope you all make a few bucks this weekend, and can't wait to watch the games and find out who reaches the end zone and makes it rain this weekend. That's my story, and I'm definitely sticking to it. Oh my God.